The impact of a multi-ethnic environment in Kazakhstan on the transformation of the national education of youth. 1. The entry of Kazakhstan into the Russian Empire. 2. The policy of deportation of revolutionary-minded citizens of the Russian Empire to the territory of Kazakhstan. 3. The resettlement of prisoners of war on the Kazakh land during the First World War. 4. Deportation of representatives of other nationalities to the territory of Kazakhstan during the period of mass political repression in the Soviet Union. 5. Relocation of representatives of other nationalities on the basis of the decree on the increase of grain production in the country and the development of virgin and fallow lands. Currently, about 130 nationalities live in Kazakhstan, that is, we are a multinational state. In the message to the people of Kazakhstan of the leader of the nation Nursultan Nazarbayev Strategy Kazakhstan 2050, new political course of the established state said Kazakhstan is our land. This is a land that for centuries belonged to our ancestors. The land that will belong to our descendants. And we are directly responsible for ensuring peace and tranquility in our land. We must be the true masters of our land, hospitable, cordial, generous, tolerant. If we want to see our country a strong and powerful state, we should not rock the boat ourselves, tear down the fragile peace and order. We must not allow anyone to sow discord and fear in our blessed land. You must remember my demand and the requirement of time, to live in peace and harmony. There are many different forces inside and outside the country who want to play the inter-ethnic split card, want to blow our peace of mind from the inside and prevent the strengthening of our state. Do not follow them. We must improve, we must be worthy people, and only then we will be respected, our history, culture, traditions and language will be respected. What contributed to the formation of a multi-ethnic environment in Kazakhstan, which contributed to the multinationality of our nation? When and where did other nationalities come to our country? The answers to the questions are very superficial. The article by D. Koshim Modern Kazakhstan and the Path to Europe says, historical education was ignored. In the school textbook there is no information about how representatives of the diaspora came to the Kazakh land. There are no facts, neither documentaries, nor feature films about the tragedy of various nationalities, which by Stalin's order were forcibly evicted to the Kazakh land, and how the Kazakh people accepted them. That is why the majority of students of the Uyghur secondary school could not answer the question, when and how did the Uyghurs find themselves on Kazakh soil and in connection with what historical situation? Education should be directed to studying the history of Kazakhs. There are complex and difficult topics, such as the role of the Kazakhs in the history of Kazakhstan or colonialism of the Russian Empire, the period of collectivization, years of development of whole lands. These topics should be studied not superficially, but thoroughly. He recalls that every citizen of Kazakhstan should know the history of other nationalities deported to the territory of Kazakhstan. For example, in Kazakhstan in 1897, 55,000 Tatars, 55,000 Uyghurs, 30,000 Uzbeks, 15,000 Dungans and 10.5 thousand Mordovans lived in Kazakhstan. The history of the formation of a multinational Kazakhstan is closely connected with the resettlement of the Uyghurs and Dungans from the Kuljinsky district of the Qing Empire in Jidisu. The national liberation struggle of local residents against the Chinese government had a significant influence on the political situation in the region. The policy of deportation of revolutionary citizens by the Tsarist government also influenced the transformation of the ethnic structure of Kazakhstan. However, although this is not a decisive factor in the demographic situation, it is known that such facts exist on Kazakh soil. For example, in the 1930s, the Kazakh land turned into a zone of political resettlement for the participants in the Polish uprising against the Russian Empire. About 60 nationalities lived in Kazakhstan on the eve of the First World War. Among them, besides Russians and Ukrainians, were Tatars, Uyghurs, Uzbeks, Bashkirs, Germans, Poles, Dungans, Jews, Tajiks, Moldovans, and many others. Due to the participation of the Russian Empire in the First World War, the national colonial oppression in Kazakhstan increased. This, in turn, led to national and social contradictions in the country. Relocation of the deportees was a tragedy for the Kazakh people. In the process of resettlement, migrants were settled in the steppes, where Kazakhs traditionally herded their cattle and blocked the road along which they drove the cattle to drink water to water sources.